That's a squeaky chair. Fuck. Hey guys, my name is Brian Storm, top 10 NHL versus player, and today I'm going to be showing you guys high percentage shots. They're not going to be shots that always go in, but they go in most of the time. You're never really going to get a shot that will go in 100% of the time because uh, you'll likely miss the net more so than not. Or the goalie's just going to make a lucky save, or you're going to accidentally hit someone, and whatnot. So, the first one here is going to be off the break. It's actually the worst one. This one probably 5%. It sucks defending it. It sucks seeing it, but sometimes it's also very popular in ESHL. So, this one is off the rush. If you have one guy here, I also have a forward over there on the left. I'm not going to care about him too much here. What I do is I'm going to cut to the middle almost immediately after crossing the line, and I'm holding down the left stick to the left. So you go towards your forehand side. Larkin happens to be a lefty, so we want him on the right side. If you're a righty, you want to be on the left side cutting to the middle. I like to call this the crisscross goal because you can do it both ways. So if I'm cutting towards the middle, and I'm holding down the right stick to the left to get ready to wind up a forehand shot, a snapshot. You want to go pretty far to the left here and wait for the goalie to move to the left with you. And when you do that, see how he's starting to move? Right now, I'm still aiming left and top left with everything, with both of my sticks going to the left. But as he starts to move, watch my left stick. It's moving to the right, and now I'm aiming top right. So he moves out of the way, and it's a pretty clean goal. You can do this. Let me show you one more time. I'm not a big video editor, so unfortunately I have to do all of these in one game. It doesn't bother me. So I was gliding kind of diagonally here, but you can go even more to the left, like parallel almost. You can be right here when you take the shot. And the goalie will still move very far to the left with you, and you can still shoot top right. Except the problem is the further out that you are, the harder it is for your shot to be accurate. And of course, there'll be less power in your shot by the time it gets to the end, to the net, or just to that side of the ice. Again, you can do it the other way as well, and it works just as well. So the next one here is going to be a cycling play. Since I have a limited time here, I went into his zone, probably had this guy here. I had him pass it back to my defenseman. This is going to be a D-to-D one-timer. This one's going right to left. You need to make sure that your defense is set up in a way so that they can easily take this one-timer here. If this guy was a lefty and not a righty, this would be very hard to pull off. Because he's a righty, it's much easier. If you're playing Hockey Ultimate Team, you need to set up a team so that every line on defense has this exact same setup. A righty on lefty, a lefty on righty. Lefty on right D. Right defense. Just so that these one-timers will go off every time you pass it all the way to the back. So what I'm going to do here, from here I'm going to pass it to this guy and watch the controls. Right now I'm aiming left to just pass to this guy, but as soon as I release the puck with this pass, I'm going to be aiming right. And usually this shot is much cleaner. For some reason, Bishop doesn't move as far as most goalies do. It still ends up going into the back of the net. So it's a normal pass to the left, and then when you actually don't need to wind it up like a slap shot, as long as you're pressing up on the right stick. This is all skill stick controls, by the way. As long as you're pressing up on the right stick, your guy will automatically take this slap shot. As you notice, with the controls, I'm not holding down with the right stick at all to wind up this slap shot. So you just aim top right, and then shoot it. Another thing, actually, I want to point out with this is that it doesn't have to be D to D either. I can have this guy right here get the puck, and as long as this lane is open diagonally, I can pass it to this D-man and still shoot top right. That's how effective these one-timers are. So this is going to be a screenshot now. Usually, it's a lot more cleaner, but again, since I only had like one shot at this, it's a little ugly. The idea is you pass it to someone in the back, or you can just go in with one of your forwards and come all the way back to the point here. I think I was also short. No, I wasn't. Whatever. Doesn't matter. And the idea is that your players will be in front of the net, screening the goalie, blocking the goalie from being able to see anything. And in this case, it's actually his players that block the goalie. So I notice right here, I have a lot of space on the left, and I'm pretty much gonna get this shot off, no matter what. I'm not sure if it's gonna go in yet, but I'm gonna get this shot off. But the fact that he has skaters in front of the goalie, blocking his vision, it's hard for him to see where I am, where the puck is. I want to aim this top left so that I can get a screenshot. That's what I end up doing here. You can take a slap shot or just a normal wrist shot. Slap shots would be better, but if slap shots are better if you have a lot of time. But if you don't have a lot of time, you just take a normal wrist shot, top left. This next goal was kind of BS. So we'll just skip that one. Alright, so this one's also going to be off the rush. Darren Helm's here by himself, and this one requires a little more finesse as well, where you need to get by this defender. And it usually involves going backhand and then forehand. You want to have a lefty here so that you can take this shot easier. And this is going to be a little different from the first shot, the crisscross shot, because you're not going as far. So all these are very situational. It depends on how like the defenders here are coming in on you. Off the rush, do that little backhand forehand move, and I get around him like this. And so then you just shoot it short side, and the goalie kind of doesn't really have any chance. The shot goes in most of the time as well. Of course, I'm shooting top right. Okay, so this one's one of my favorites as well. It's very similar to the other video where I showed you guys how to score from behind the net, but you're not really behind the net on this one. You're kind of to the side. And so what you do is you kind of do like a little arc or umbrella type of maneuver where you're right here. You're skating, and you arc this way. And you pull back assuming your guy's forehand, assuming your guy's a lefty on this side, you have to be a righty on the other side. So you back, wind up this forehand shot, and look at where the puck is compared to everyone else. Both the player, the stick, the goalie. Yeah, kind of the stick as a person. Fight me. It's really in a very awkward position. Like, how do you shoot this puck? Well, let me show you. So, I'm pulling back on the stick, and I'm aiming top left. Again, I have a lot of space on the top left there, and that's exactly what ends up happening. An easy empty net goal almost. It's a very high percentage shot. So this one, if I remember correctly, is your standard one-timer. One-timers are very deadly in this game, as they are in most NHL games. So I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but as long as you do a little cross-crease play right here, sometimes the person's going to intercept it, so that's why one-timers might be a little harder to get off, but if you still can get this pass off, it should go in the net. I'm also aiming left while taking a shot. You don't want to aim that right, because you might risk hitting the goalie. And that's pretty embarrassing. If you have an empty net, you hit the goalie. So now I'm going to show you guys another one-timer that you can do. I used to do this one a lot in NHL 16. For some reason in this game, it's not as effective, but it could still be an option. And I see my player like this. I want to get that pass to him for a one-timer as he's coming in to the left, of course. I want to get that pass for a one-timer, and I want to aim this top left. This one's a unique situation because he happens to aim right at my player again for a deflection. I mean, that works. Deflections are fun. They're nice. You can get them pretty much anytime you have a person in front of the net and you're aiming at them when you shoot. But if I were to just aim this top left with no one around, it's likely going to go in the net anyway. And you can take this one-timer if my player was even further to the left, like in this spot, the guy taking the shot. Now the last one I want to show you guys, it's pretty much a high percentage shot from anywhere. Anywhere where you're holding down and winding up this shot, even came to me. When you're winding up the snapshot, pretty much from anywhere, it's a high percentage shot. And like, if this is really easy to just poke check, but a lot of people can just like mess it up, just like this defender does. And so I'm doing a little finesse here, just trying to get around him and get closer to the net when I take this shot. But you wind it up and you shoot top right or top left, depending on what side you're on, it's a high percentage shot. It's going to go in most of the time. So that's all I have for you guys today. It's the beginning of the year, and that is pretty much my whole arsenal of shots. These are the shots that I'm going to take whenever I play the game. I'm going to try to get myself into these situations so I can score. And hopefully in the future I can show you some more tips and tricks in this game, such as how to get into these situations, because these are just how to score. But maneuverability is a big part of this game, trying to get into those situations. I can show you guys my strategies, and a whole bunch of other things. So if you're interested, I'm going to be putting up daily NHL videos for you guys. Feel free to subscribe to the channel, and I hope that all of this can help you out. You can score some more goals. Thanks for watching. If anyone has any questions, feel free to comment in, I guess, the YouTube comments.